Hello everyone, in this video let us talk about how we can use the ScriptRunner to fetch the subtask. So couple of weeks ago, no in fact couple of months ago, I made one video about how to write your first Hello World program using ScriptRunner, and in that video I also talked about one specific example where I basically explained how you can use a ScriptRunner to simply fetch the details of a specific issue. And in this particular video, I talked about how you can fetch the details of, let us say, an issue based on the issue key, and you can also fetch the name, the summary, or basically anything related to that particular issue. So I want to continue further and I want to expand that example further, and in this video let us talk about how we can also fetch the details of the subtask. So I'm right now using the same script. In this particular script you can see here that I'm trying to fetch the summary of my issue with key called Android 38. If I take a look at my Android 38, which is nothing but a story, and right now we have quite a lot of subtasks, each with different keys. So we have subtask with 39, 40 and so on. So we have around 6 subtasks. So let us see how we can use ScriptRunner to fetch the subtask. So I'll go back to my original code, and in this particular code I will probably first comment my return statement, which is right now returning the summary of Android 38. So the first thing that I want to do, and by the way, since I'm using the latest version of ScriptRunner, using the new code editor, I can also find my way quite easily. So let us see how we can fetch, let us say, subtask. Since we're talking about subtask here, let us first type in the issue. So I'll probably figure out what all I can do with my issue here. So if I press dot, and if I press control space, that is the command for autocomplete. So I have already a lot of options in front of me. I can see here that I can probably set the assignee, set component, but right now I'm interested in getting the subtask. So let us see if we have something called a subtask. So if I probably type get, I should have this list updated with what all I can get from this issue. So I can get the assignee, I can get attachments, but I'm more interested in something like subtask. So if I scroll further, I can find this method or this function called getStatusObject. So if I click on it, I basically have my subtask, not sorry subtask, but my status. But I need to figure out how I can get the subtask. Let us do it again. I think I was trying to do it very quickly. So if I do control space, and if I probably filter it based on get, so I was looking for a subtask. So it should start with something like get subtask or get subtask object. So I can use get subtask, but I believe this is depreciated, because the moment I select this, after a few seconds I'll get this error, not an error, but it will probably tell me that use get subtask object. So it might not be depreciated, but since there is a warning, I don't really like warnings, and we can still run it. If I run this, I will probably get something. So I think I am able to fetch few things. This is not very user friendly. I can convert this output into a pretty JSON, so it looks good, but I can see here very clearly that it is definitely the list of all the subtasks. But let us try the other one, the method that says getSubTaskObject. So if I probably just remove S and type in here objects, I'll probably use control space to autocomplete. So this is really interesting because using this autocomplete feature, you have the option to just figure out what you need to do by exploring the APIs. So there is no error in this, and if I quickly do a return, I'm now able to fetch the list of all the subtasks with their issue keys. So this is great. It's a good start. So right now we have the list of all the subtasks for Android 38, and if I look at my issue, we have 6 subtasks. If I go back, so we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So definitely we have 6 subtasks, and it is a list. And by the way, if you click on this this method, and if you do probably Control J, it will take you to the site where you can take a look at the details of this. For some reason it is not working. Let me just do it again. Okay, so right now it is not working, but we can of course go to the docs.atlassian.com and take a look at the details of this method. So let us not waste any time, and I basically want to fetch the individual summaries, or maybe I want further details. So apart from my Android 39, using the previous method, I was able to fetch quite a lot of details like summary and everything. But right now we have the objects of the subtask. So can I go further? Can I just do dot and do something like get summary here? So if I do control space, I have few things that I can do. Can I do get summary here? Maybe not. So what I want to do, I want to basically pass this particular list or collection to this get issue object, and then I'll maybe use a new issue object to further fetch the details of Android 39. So for doing that, I first need to convert this into, let us say, a string. So I'll use this method called toString, and of course you don't need to remember each and everything. You can simply do control space. Again, I'm just trying to repeat this, but this is really useful. So if you do toString, you can run it very quickly and it will do a simple conversion. But I want, let us say, I can of course write a for loop now and I can iterate this one by one, but let us do it very quickly and return the very first issue key, which is Android 39. So this is the issue key, which I can now pass in this method above, get issue object. So let us copy this line, and I'll first comment out my return statement, and I'll probably create a new sub underscore issue. So this sub underscore issue will now contain the details of, it will basically hold my subtask. And right now we are talking about Android 39. So I can of course remove this, and I'll probably copy the whole issue.getSubtaskObject and the first item in the list. I'll pass it straight away. So let us see if we are able to fetch something here. So if I do a return, and by the way, there is no error, so that is a good sign. And usually for doing these things, like for doing autocomplete, you need to rely on IntelliJ, but you can do it now with ScriptRunner quite easily. So let us see if we have Android 39. So I'm now able to retrieve Android 39 by passing it in this get issue object method. But I believe now I should be able to get the summary, or basically any field of this particular issue. So if I do a control space again, and if I do get summary, let us see if we can, oops, I need to use probably capital. So let us see if we can fetch summary. I'm sure we can. I'm just trying to see. Yeah, we do have something called as get summary, and we are of course talking about the very first subtask in the list. I can change it to 1 or maybe 2, but ideally of course you will be using a loop, some kind of a loop, to iterate over all the subtasks. And the whole point of this video is to show you how we can use ScriptRunner. And I'm doing these simple videos because I think it's a very good way to learn if you know the fundamentals. Because if you know the fundamentals, like we have been talking about how to write simple hello world, we have been talking about how to fetch the list of all the projects, fetch the details of an issue, fetch the details of all the subtasks, and go further. Like in this video, we are first returning all the subtasks, and then we are talking about how we can get further into that particular subtask. So when you combine each and everything, like all these small snippets of code, you can build something huge, or you can do a lot of automation, and you can basically make your life a lot easier. And this is all I wanted to show in this video. I'll continue making these simple videos on ScriptRunner, and I do have plans on making some lengthy videos where I will probably talk about, or I'll probably share some recipes. Like if you're trying to do something specific, like a specific use case that is probably common in the industry, like how to use ScriptRunner for syncing the issues, how to use ScriptRunner to basically copy the comments from parent to child issues. So there are different use cases that are quite common, and when you have ScriptRunner, you can pretty much do anything that you can do with an app or an add-on that you can find on the marketplace. Of course, you don't really need to use ScriptRunner always. There are specific cases when I think using an add-on is probably better if you're trying to do something which has been done already, and it is something quite standard, like if you're trying to do test management in Jira. So then use apps like test management for Jira, or X-Ray or Zephyr. If you're trying to do timesheets, then use Tempo. The whole idea here is that for making your life easier, if you're trying to automate something that you can't do natively in Jira, or you can't really do it with a specific add-on, and you have a specific requirement that you can't find anywhere else. So in that case, use ScriptRunner. And if you know these small things, like I'm trying to create these videos and try to show you how we can do these simple things in Jira that will probably help you in doing something in bulk and doing something in Jira instance programmatically. So as I mentioned earlier, you can combine everything, and you can build your own automation. So let us end this video now, and I hope you enjoyed watching this video. Thank you very much.